Hello, this is John Boguslaw with eXp Realty with the October 2024 market report. So what's happened this month is so much about the interest rates. So much of the movement that we're seeing now is a result of in September, in August, when we had significantly lower interest rates, higher level of activity. So what we've observed recently, the big change is that the number of closed sales is 10.3% higher in October 24 versus where it was October 23. Now, if you look at the year-to-date numbers, we're barely up in terms of number of closed sales. So 0.2%, basically flat as compared to the 10%. So why is that 10% number so big? Interest rates. The interest rates were lower for the past 60 or so days, and many of those homes that went under contract in July and August coming to settlement in October figures, and that's where we're seeing the movement. So we have 10% more closings this October as last October, very different from the rest of the year. Now, median sale price up 8.6% as compared to the October figures, and that's very much in line with the year-to-date figures, basically the same as the year-to-date figures. Days on market is up. That's partially a result of seasonality, but not entirely, because if you look October 24, October 23, those are both October, and we are 3 days more. It's still very few days on market, all things considered. New pending sales up 4%, so not quite up that 10% figure, but still trending upward. New listings basically flat. Active listings, we do have a little bit more on the market this year as opposed to last year, but not a radical amount, especially when we look at what we usually have historically. And showings, this is something that jumps out to me on this one, is that showings are actually up marginally. Most of this year, they were down between 20% and 10%, and now we're just slightly in the positive. So it's something to be aware of. Now, as far as the interest rates, so that's so much of the story here. And you can see if we look at the weekly average mortgage rates for this year, November 23 to November 24, you'll see that we have crept back up. We're not as high as we were back in November 23, but we are higher than we were in July, August, and September. So the question remains to be seen what will happen as a result of that. Will this continued activity, will it continue where it is, or will it dial back a little bit? And we'll keep an eye on that going forward. Yeah, as I was saying, closed sales, you'll see it really did jump. It's the first time we've really had a jump because these kind of cancel each other out, that difference there, 23 to 24. This is the first time all year, really, that we've seen a jump in the number of closed sales. Similarly, another thing to take a look at, if we look at the median sold price, you'll see that there's typically a decline from September to October, but this time we're flat. And if you look at all the past 5 years, there's a decline in all of them except this one where we are flat. So there's certainly a good amount of interest that we are having more homes come on the market, not as many as we would hope for, but we are trending in that direction. It remains to be seen what will happen now that the interest rates have gone up a meaningful amount. I wouldn't say they've shot up or anything, but they've gone up a meaningful amount from the lows that we saw earlier this year. But there's certainly a good amount of activity, especially when we zero in on your specific situation. So if you do have specific questions about your situation, your specific goals, please always feel free to reach out, and hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.